What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo hanging out here with the new Armstrong Performance downwind board. So before we talk about who this is for, what it is, we're just gonna kind of hold the thing up, show you some of the crazy shapes and lines that this board has. So this is the 108 liter, very lightweight, very high-end, premium construction. Look at that tail. Just absolutely wild shape what these guys are putting out. So this downwind board is designed for downwind performance riding. So what does that mean? It was really kind of confusing when we first saw it. Was like, what is the deal with this crazy speed needle looking board? So Armstrong has two boards in his line this year, downwind performance, and then they have the standard downwind board. So they share similar design specs. The downwind performance is like a really stretched out, a lot narrower version. So this is 108 liter, and the similar size of the standard downwind board, it's going to be about 1.5 feet shorter, and it's going to be a couple inches, I think 3 inches wider. So this one is 8'11" by 17.25" wide and 108 liters. So I was like, what is the deal with the length, Army? And so what the deal is with the length is it comes down to this. It's not for crossing, it's not for this or that, the other. It's to ride the smallest foil possible and to get up on foil with the smallest foil possible. And the way you do that is by having a narrower board. The narrower board is gonna be a lot faster through the water. So if it's a lot faster through the water when you're paddling or getting picked up by a swell, it's gonna allow you to get up on foil with the smaller foil. And so that is gonna be great for, it will definitely work for crossings, and say you're doing that like Molokai race and you're out in the middle of the ocean riding these huge swells, totally will work for that because you can ride a really small foil. But it also is going to work in just your average downwind conditions like you're doing at home, small wind bump or whatever it is, so long as you know how to downwind. And so this is really kind of someone's second board that they would want to get, or someone that wants to go in the lightest possible breeze. So my first experience with this was light wind winging in Fiji. I was like, there's no way. It was super light. They had it rigged up with the HA 1180, had a prototype big, like a light wind wing. And I was like, there's no way I could even stand up on this board. I was like, how am I gonna even get up? And they're like, just try it out. So kneel on the board, sheet in, stand up. I'm like, how am I going? Like, how am I possibly standing up on this? Because the thing is 17.25" wide. Sheet in with almost no pump, boom, straight up on the foil because the board was going so fast through the water. I was riding the lightest wind that I've ever ridden in with this board. And it was actually quite easy and quite stable. What Armstrong told me is that the length of these boards and the bottom shape and the contours of which they've built in adds to the stability. So length in downwind boards is what's giving you stability, not necessarily width. So for someone that's beginning downwinding like me, I'm definitely going with the standard downwind board and riding the one that has more width, because it will kind of fix that kooky bad paddling thing. But if you know how to paddle, you know how to downwind, going with the downwind performance board is going to be the trick. Second thing, I was like, doesn't this thing a bear to turn because it's so long? What happens is as you increase the length, the boxes are coming farther and farther up the board, right? So the boxes are going to be farther forward, so the effective length that you're feeling in front of you is about the same. And then the width, the narrower the board, it's going to go rail to rail quicker. So you don't really lose in turning, but you gain a lot in that forward speed to get you up on foil, so you can ride those smaller high aspect foils like the downwind performance foil, or a lot of guys are downwinding now with the HAs like 880, even 780 people are downwinding with, which is awesome to see that you can ride such small foils. For a guy like myself, I want to have max stability, so I'm going the standard downwind board, riding much bigger foils like the 1180 on a good day, or sometimes I'll even go with the APF just to paddle pump ups to get up on a foil and have that real low stall speed. A few things that they've got here, you can see the dual carbon stringers going to come all the way through right to here. Dual carbon boxes. One of the cool things that they've done on the deck pad is that they have put these stringers, these little blue things, so you know exactly where your foot is for pumping, right? They've also put these two small little arch bars so you can feel it, and small little kicktails so you don't lose your foot off the back. This EVA deck pad, real thin, lightweight, but really comfortable. So if you're on your knees paddling out or you can't pump up, it's gonna give you a lot of grip, but also it's not gonna tear you to death. One other thing that I wanna show you that is really cool is this tail. It's so wild. So you can see this tail. On the previous version, the original version of the downwind board, it came straight off the back and it kind of came to a point and it was real flat. What they've done here is they've put a lot more rocker here, and they've really kind of faired it out so that when you're pumping, if you touch the tail, it doesn't stick and slow you down. So you're pumping, it just kind of glances off and kind of pops you right back up on foil, whereas this tail was specifically designed so that if it touches down for your pumping, you're just gonna keep going, you're not gonna have that sticky feeling. So Armstrong Downwind Performance board, really cool. For anyone that is wanting to get a performance downwind board, this thing is gonna be amazing. They do come with high-end premium board bags. If you have more questions, want to find out which one's right for you, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000. Reach out online, realwatersports.com. See you guys on the water for the next sesh.